Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. So today we will learn about the two biggest mistakes that most pivot table users make. Number one is not taking advantage of auto refresh. The biggest problem with pivot tables is that you might report outdated data because you forget to refresh your pivot tables. Now there is a setting that automatically refreshes your pivot tables every time you open the file. Let me show you where that is. So over here in Excel we have sales data here. I'm just going to go ahead and insert a pivot table on a new worksheet. Press OK. So here we have pivot table fields. Let's just select in some fields customer name and amount, right? So that setting is right here. Right click it, right mouse click, go to pivot table options, data, and refresh data when opening the file and press OK. Right, so it has been updated, but for that we have to enter another data. We can add a row here and add in date 21st April, Umbrella Corp, 50 units sold for $1,000, and David Brown and Phoenix. Right, so here you can see the total has changed. It's 27,250 and 1100, right? But when you go to your pivot table, it's still showing 26,250. Okay, so now close the file, save, and open it again. And now when you open the file, you can see that the total has automatically changed, right? So it automatically refreshes. So that makes sure that your pivot table refreshes every time you open the file. So if someone in your office go ahead and add data to this sales data here, when you open the file, this pivot table is going to refresh automatically. By the way, if you refresh your pivot tables and new data doesn't show up, it's likely because you aren't using Excel tables as your source. Now that's another common mistake that people make. When you could what you could do to make sure that every time everything matches is to add validation checks to make sure that your pivot table data matches your source data. So the next mistake is not using slicers to filter multiple pivot tables. If you're familiar with pivot tables, you know that slicers are a great way to add interactivity to your reports and filter them. We learned how to add slicers to our tables in our last video. If you're not familiar with slicers, here's how you can quickly create one. So in this pivot table, we are summarizing sales amount by customer name, and let's say I want to add a filter for sales representative. I'm just going to right mouse click on sales representative and then click on add as slicer, right? So currently this slicer is connected to this pivot table. You can see it's updating whenever I select different sales representatives, right? Let's just bring it over here. But the second table over here is not being filtered with this slicer. Let's say I want it to be filtered. I want to connect it to this slicer. All I have to do is click on this second pivot table, go to pivot table analyze, right, and filter connections. There we can see our slicer. This is our slicer. Place a check mark here and then OK. Now when you select your different sales representatives, see both of the pivot tables are being filtered. Now the second pivot table is also connected to this slicer. Okay, so with one slicer you can filter multiple pivot tables. Now one thing we can do is get rid of these row labels and get proper labels here. So I'm going to go to design, right, go to design and report layout and show in tabular form, and repeat this for this table as well, show in tabular form, right? If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, like and share, and stay tuned for more Excel tutorials. Thank you.